The first gunshot didn't sound like a movie. It sounded like a door slamming in the wrong hallway. Then the ER glass exploded. A masked man in tactical gear stepped into Mercy General's trauma bay and screamed, "Lock it down now." Nurses froze. A resident dropped a chart like it was suddenly on fire. Security rushed in, too late. The man raised a rifle and fired again, clean and controlled. The bullet ripped through the ceiling tile above the triage desk, showering dust like snow. "Code Black!" someone shouted, voice breaking. Red strobes flashed. The automatic doors slammed shut. Steel shutters rolled down over the entrances. Locked in. Serena Blake stood at the far end of the bay, holding an IV kit like it weighed nothing. Quiet, still, like she'd been in worse places than this hospital. Across the room, Dr. Von Kessler, arrogant trauma surgeon, perfect hair even at 2 a.m., stared at her and barked, "Nurse Blake, move, you're just in the way." Serena didn't move, because she saw what no one else saw. The gunman wasn't here for chaos. He was looking for someone specific. The masked man scanned the beds, then snapped his head towards the ICU doors, and Serena noticed the patch on his chest, half hidden under his vest, a black triangle, a symbol she hadn't seen in years. Her fingers tightened around the IV catheter. Her pulse stayed calm, but her stomach turned cold. Not them. The gunman grabbed a terrified nurse by the hair and shoved the rifle to her temple. "Where's the VIP patient, the one who came in under a fake name?" Dr. Kessler lifted his hands. "There is no VIP." The gunman fired a round into the floor right between Kessler's shoes. Kessler jumped back, humiliated, pale. Try again. Serena stepped forward. Not fast, not dramatic, just enough. "I can take you to him," Serena said softly. Everyone stared. Kessler hissed, "Are you insane?" Serena met the gunman's eyes through the mask. "I'm the night nurse for ICU. I know exactly where he is." The gunman tilted his head, studying her like he'd seen her before. Then he nodded once. "You, lead." Serena walked towards the ICU doors, but as she passed the supply cart, her hand brushed a scalpel pack, like a secret, like a promise. And in the reflection of the stainless steel cabinet, Serena caught a glimpse of herself. Not a nurse, a weapon wrapped in scrubs. The ICU doors opened, and Serena saw the VIP patient. Not a senator, not a witness. A man in restraints with a seal trident tattoo partially burned off his shoulder. He looked at Serena and mouthed one word: "Run." And then the gunman raised his rifle at Serena's head. 6 hours earlier, Mercy General treated Serena Blake like she was invisible. She moved quietly through the ICU corridors, checking drips, adjusting vents, whispering reassurance to patients who couldn't answer back. No drama, no ego, just work. But in the break room, the doctors laughed like the hospital was their private stage. Dr. Von Kessler leaned against the counter, sipping coffee like he owned the building. "I swear that Nurse Blake walks like she's in slow motion." A young resident, Dr. Eli Park, snorted. "Maybe she's scared of the IV poles." Head nurse Marla Denton joined in, smiling sharp. "She's not scared, she's just not built for trauma. Some people are made for diapers and bedpans." Laughter. Serena stood in the doorway holding a stack of patient charts. She didn't react. She didn't defend herself. She just walked in, placed the charts down, and left. Outside the break room, her face remained calm. But inside, it stung like a blade under the ribs. Not because she needed their respect, because she used to be respected by men who carried rifles and called her Doc with fear in their voices. She pushed the feeling down. This is the mission now. Stay quiet, stay clean. In the ICU, patient John Doe arrived under heavy security. No real name, no family, no paperwork trail. Security guard Hank Morales whispered to Serena, "Administration says no questions." Serena nodded. She didn't ask questions. She didn't need to. She recognized the posture, the scars, the way the man scanned the room even while sedated. Military, special operations. When she adjusted his gown, she saw the tattoo half destroyed, a trident, and burn marks shaped like an attempt to erase identity. Serena's breath tightened. She leaned closer and checked his arm. Under the wristband, barely visible, a small black triangle scar. Not accidental, a brand. Her fingers went cold. She covered it quickly. Head nurse Marla Denton stormed in. "Blake, why are you hovering? He's not your boyfriend. Go mop the hallway if you're bored." Serena swallowed the anger. "Yes, Nurse Denton?" Denton smirked. "And don't touch anything important. We don't need another slow nurse incident." Serena turned away. But as she walked out, her eyes flicked to the ICU camera above the door. It wasn't blinking. It wasn't recording. Someone had disabled it. Serena stopped. Her mind snapped into a different mode. Combat mode. She whispered to herself, so quiet even she barely heard it. They found him. Then the hospital intercom crackled. A scream, a sudden loud bang, and the voice she feared most. "Code Black, active shooter." Serena broke into a sprint, not slow at all, and the moment she hit the ER doors, the first bullet shattered the glass. The rifle barrel hovered inches from Serena's forehead. She didn't flinch. She didn't raise her hands like the others. She just breathed. Slow. Measured. The gunman's voice came out filtered and cruel. "Don't try anything. I've watched this place for weeks." Serena's eyes flicked past him. 2 more men in the hall. Not hospital security. Not cops. Contractor movement. Silent steps. Tight formation. Black triangle patch on one of their sleeves. Her stomach sank. This wasn't a random shooter. This was a team. Kessler tried to step in front, desperate to reclaim control. "Listen, this is a hospital. You can't—" The gunman slammed the rifle butt into Kessler's chest. Kessler hit the wall, choking, embarrassed. Everyone watched him shrink. Serena felt something dark rise inside her. They always hit the loud ones first, then the quiet ones disappear. The VIP patient on the bed, wrists strapped down, eyes wide, breathed through pain. He stared at Serena like he was his last hope. A second contractor moved toward the bed with zip cuffs. "We extract, we don't treat." Serena stepped between them and the patient. "His vitals will crash if you move him like that," she said calmly. The contractor sneered. "Who asked you?" Serena glanced at the monitor. Heart rate unstable, blood pressure dropping. "Give me 60 seconds, Serena said, "or you carry out a corpse." The gunman paused. Even killers preferred living targets. He motioned sharply. "Do it, fast." Serena leaned over the patient. "What's your name?" she whispered. The man's lips trembled. "Nolan." Serena's eyes narrowed. The name hit her like a memory fragment. She reached under the bed for the crash cart drawer, pretending to grab meds, but her fingers found what she needed: a surgical clamp, a syringe, a vial of sedative, the kind used for combative patients. The contractor watched her hands. No tricks. Serena gave him the simplest nurse smile. "Of course." She injected the sedative into the VIP's IV line, but she didn't push the full dose, just enough. Then she adjusted the bed rail. Click. A small metallic sound. A signal. Security guard Hank Morales, hiding behind the ER desk, caught it. He looked at Serena like, "What are you doing?" Serena kept her face empty, but her eyes said, "Get ready." The gunman reached for Serena's wrist. "Step aside." Serena let him grab her. Then she rotated her forearm in a smooth, brutal motion. Not nursing, not civilian, a perfect wrist break technique. Crack. The gunman screamed, raising the rifle. Serena grabbed the defibrillator paddles off the wall and slammed them onto the contractor. Clear! She shocked him. His body jerked violently, collapsing. The ER erupted in panic screams. Kessler stared at Serena like he'd never seen her before. The gunman aimed at Serena, but the VIP patient suddenly ripped his restraints, half sedated, and tackled the gunman's legs. Chaos. Gunfire. Serena dove behind the crash cart. A bullet tore through the cart where her head had been. She reached into the cart and pulled out the anesthesia mask tubing. Her eyes locked onto the oxygen wall port. "You want code black?" Serena whispered. "I'll give you black." And she twisted the oxygen valve wide open. Oxygen hissed hard, filling the air like an invisible storm. Serena kept low, dragging the crash cart sideways to block the hallway. Gunshots popped, sharp, controlled. The contractors weren't spraying bullets. They were professionals. Serena's mind snapped into old muscle memory. Angles, cover, distance. 2 shooters, 1 VIP, 20 civilians. Kessler crawled behind a stretcher, shaking. "Blake, what the hell are you doing?" Serena didn't answer. She popped open the anesthesia drawer and pulled out a small canister. Isoflurane, anesthetic gas. The contractors moved toward the oxygen room, realizing the risk. One shouted, "Stop! Shut it down!" Serena slid a scalpel into her sleeve like it belonged there. Head nurse Marla Denton screamed from behind the nurses' station, "Serena, you're making it worse!" Serena's jaw tightened. They mocked you. Now they'll survive because of you. She crawled toward the oxygen room door, heart steady, eyes scanning. A contractor stepped into the doorway. Serena sprang, fast, silent. She slammed the door into his knee. He stumbled. Serena drove the scalpel handle into his throat, not cutting, just crushing his airway for 2 seconds. He gagged. She pulled a syringe and injected lidocaine straight into his neck muscles. His hands went weak. His rifle slipped. Serena caught it before it clattered. She didn't aim it. She didn't need it. She shoved him into the wall and zip-tied his wrists using IV tourniquets. Kessler watched from a distance, mouth open. "Who are you?" he whispered. Serena's voice was ice. A nurse. The remaining gunman shouted, "She's trained! Take her down!" The VIP, Nolan, crawled behind the gurney, bleeding from his side. "Serena, they're here for me, not you." Serena's eyes flicked to his wound. "You're wrong." She saw a tablet clipped to one contractor's vest, hospital map, a list, names, and Serena's name was circled in red. She swallowed. "They didn't just find him. They found me," Serena murmured. A loud metallic bang echoed. The main ER doors shook. Someone outside was trying to breach lockdown. Not police. A bigger team. The intercom crackled with a panicked voice from admin. "Security! There are men dressed as SWAT at the loading dock!" Serena's face went still. Fake SWAT. That meant contractors. Extraction team. A full takeover. Kessler finally found his voice, desperate. "What do we do?" Serena stared at the ceiling camera above the trauma bay. Still dark. Disabled. But she noticed something else. A second smaller camera, hidden near the sprinkler pipe. Not hospital-issued. Private. Someone was recording this. Serena whispered, "They want footage." Marla Denton sobbed. "Footage for what?" Serena's eyes hardened. "To frame someone." Gunfire erupted again as the fake SWAT team hit the inner corridor. The last gunman inside shouted, "Target is Serena Blake." Everyone turned toward Serena like she was the danger, like she brought this. Kessler's voice cracked. "Blake, why are they calling you Target?" Serena stepped back into the shadows of the supply hall, and for the first time she let her mask slip. Her eyes weren't scared. They were angry. She whispered one sentence. "Because I'm the only one who can stop them." Then she disappeared into the ICU corridor, right as the fake SWAT team forced open the doors. The ICU hallway lights flickered under emergency power. Alarms screamed. People cried. But Serena moved like she was walking through silence. She slipped into the medication room and locked the door. Inside, she opened a drawer that only head nurses should access: controlled substances, anesthetics, paralytics. Her fingers didn't shake. Her eyes found what she needed: midazolam, ketamine, succinylcholine. Not for patients, for survival. She heard boots outside, not running, not panicked, coordinated steps. 1, 2, 3. A stack formation. Serena's mind clicked. They'll clear rooms left to right, no mercy. She set a trap using nothing but hospital tools. A thin IV line stretched across the hallway at ankle height. A rolling linen cart positioned as cover. A sharps container balanced above the door. She cracked the door open just enough. Then she caught movement. A fake SWAT man stepped into view. He held his weapon like military, but his gloves were wrong. Hospital-grade nitrile, not tactical. Someone inside helped them blend in. Behind him, she saw Dr. Eli Park, the young resident who mocked her, standing near the nurses' station. His face was pale, but not terrified. He was listening, waiting. The fake SWAT leader spoke quietly into his mic. ICU cleared in 2 minutes. Retrieve asset. Eli Park nodded. Serena's blood turned to ice. The resident is involved. She pulled back into the medroom shadows. Eli's voice rose, forcing a loud panic tone. She ran this way. Serena Blake ran this way. Lies, but everyone believed him. Kessler's shouting echoed from ER. Find her! She's putting us all in danger! Humiliation twisted into the trail. Serena swallowed hard, feeling a burn behind her eyes. I saved you, and you handed me to them. The door handle slowly turned. Serena held her breath. The lock clicked. Someone had a master key. The door swung open. A contractor entered. He scanned. Serena moved behind him like a ghost. She wrapped the IV tubing around his throat and pulled tight. He struggled. She didn't panic. She whispered in his ear, "Sleep." Then she injected ketamine into his neck. His body went limp. She eased him down without noise. Her gaze snapped to the floor. A badge fell from his vest. Not Mercy General, not SWAT. It read, Grayfield Medical Security Contractors. Grayfield. Serena knew that name. She hadn't heard it since overseas, since the mission that killed her unit. Her fingers curled into a fist. Outside, Eli Park's voice rose again, stronger. She's not even a real nurse, he shouted. She doesn't belong here. Serena stepped out into the hall, dragging the contractor's body behind the linen cart. Then she caught sight of Nolan in the ICU bed through the glass window. He was awake now. He stared at Serena's hands, at her scar, a jagged line across her knuckles. His eyes widened with recognition. His lips formed words without sound. Black Ops Medic. Serena froze, not because of fear, because someone finally saw her. Then Nolan's gaze flicked past Serena, toward the stairwell. He mouthed urgently, "They're coming from below." Before Serena could move, a loud click echoed behind her, a rifle charging. She turned and saw head nurse Marla Denton holding a gun with trembling hands. Marla whispered, "I'm sorry, Serena. They said they'd kill my son." Serena stared into the barrel and realized the hospital wasn't just under attack, it was already owned. Marla Denton's hands shook so hard the rifle trembled, but her eyes weren't shaking. Her eyes were terrified. "Put your hands up," Marla whispered, tears rolling. "Please, just do it." Serena's heart tightened, not for herself, for the truth. Because the moment she surrendered, they'd write the story. Rogue nurse, violent, unstable, and everyone would believe it. Behind Marla, Eli Park stood with a hospital tablet recording. His voice was fake shaky. "Oh my God, she's armed. She attacked security." Serena stared at him. His mouth curled slightly, like he was enjoying it. Kessler appeared at the end of the hall, flanked by 2 contractors in fake SWAT gear. He yelled, "Serena, stop resisting." Serena's lips parted in disbelief. "You saw them shoot patients. You saw them." Kessler hesitated, then snapped coldly, "This isn't about you, just surrender." That was the moment Serena understood. Kessler wasn't scared. He was involved too. One of the contractors stepped forward and spoke with calm authority. "Nurse Serena Blake, you are under arrest for assault and attempted murder." Serena almost laughed. They're not even trying to hide it. A hospital admin woman, Cynthia Rowe, walked in holding a signed termination packet. "Cynthia Blake, you are hereby fired effective immediately for gross misconduct." Even during Code Black, even during an active shooter, they were firing her as the building bled. Serena looked at the security camera in the corner. It blinked red now, recording, turned back on at the perfect time. Marla sobbed. "They said if I don't do this, my son dies." Serena's eyes softened. She lowered her hands slowly. Not surrender, control. "Marla," Serena whispered, "look at me." Marla's eyes locked onto hers. Serena spoke in a tone only a soldier would recognize, a code hidden inside softness. "Blue room, 10 seconds, breathe." Marla blinked, confused. Then something changed in her face, like memory unlocking. Marla's rifle dipped. Eli Park frowned. "Marla, what are you doing?" Serena moved, explosive. She grabbed a metal bedpan from the wall rack and slammed it into Marla's rifle barrel, forcing it upward as it fired. The shot tore into the ceiling. Serena ripped the weapon away, spun, and threw the bedpan like a blunt disc at Eli's tablet. Crack. The screen shattered. His recording died. Eli screamed, "She attacked me." Kessler shouted, furious, "Shoot her!" The contractors raised rifles. Serena dove into the oxygen room and yanked the door closed. Bullets hammered the steel. She grabbed an oxygen tank and rolled it into position like a shield. Nolan shouted weakly from ICU, "Serena, they'll kill everyone to get me." Serena stared at the oxygen regulator. Her mind flashed to an old training room. Gas, fire, controlled chaos. She whispered, "Then we change the rules." She opened the anesthesia cabinet and jammed a tube into the oxygen outlet. Gas flow. Anesthetic spread. A silent fog. The contractors outside began coughing. One cursed, voice muffled. "What the—" Serena opened the door a crack. She saw Kessler stumbling, eyes watering, and she saw Cynthia Rowe stepping back, panicked. Then she pulled out a phone and whispered, "General, she's awake. Serena is awake." Serena's blood ran cold, because only one man ever called her by that name, and he was supposed to be dead. The anesthetic gas slowed them, but not enough. These weren't amateurs. 2 contractors pulled on respirators, prepared. They advanced anyway. Serena backed into the supply corridor, heart steady. She wasn't running from them, she was leading them. She passed the morgue hallway. Cold doors, steel silence, a place people avoided, a place she could disappear. Nolan's voice echoed faintly, "Serena, don't let them take me." Serena whispered back, "I won't." Behind her, Kessler coughed violently but still yelled, "She's in the morgue corridor!" He wanted her dead, not arrested, dead, because dead people don't speak. Serena pushed open the morgue door. Inside, the air smelled like antiseptic and cold metal. A security guard, Hank Morales, stood frozen with a flashlight. His face went white when he saw her. "Nurse Blake!" Serena grabbed him by the shoulder. "Hank, do you trust me?" He swallowed. I saw you save people." "Then listen carefully," Serena said. "Shut off all hallway cameras in this wing, now." Hank hesitated. I can't. Serena stepped closer, eyes sharp. You can, you just never needed to. Hank stared at her, then nodded like a man waking up. He rushed to the security panel. Serena turned to the metal drawers, bodies stored like files. The contractor's footsteps grew louder. One shouted, "Blake, come out and no one else gets hurt." Serena pulled open a drawer, a toe tag, a corpse, but the corpse's hand was warm, not dead. Serena's eyes narrowed. She ripped back the sheet. A living man stared up at her with terrified eyes, tape across his mouth, a witness, hidden in the morgue. Serena's jaw clenched. "They're staging bodies," she whispered. The man's eyes darted wildly. She removed the tape. He gasped. Grayfield, Dr. Kessler, VIP, lab." Footsteps slammed into the morgue doorway. 2 contractors entered, rifles raised. Serena pushed the witness drawer closed fast. She stood up with empty hands. Calm. They scanned the room. One contractor saw Hank at the panel and snapped, "Step away." Hank froze. Serena moved first. She grabbed a bag of saline hanging on a pole and swung it like a weight into the contractor's rifle. The rifle hit the wall. Serena drove her elbow into his throat, then slammed his head into the steel drawer. He collapsed. The second contractor aimed at Serena. Serena yanked open a drawer and shoved the metal tray hard into her knees. He stumbled. Serena grabbed a vial from a tray, morphine, and snapped it, spraying his eyes. He screamed, blinded. Serena twisted his wrist, disarmed him, and slammed him face first into the floor. Silence. Hank stared, shaking. "Who are you?" Serena didn't answer, because the answer could kill him. She crouched by the contractor and pulled his sleeve up. Black triangle scar brand, same as Nolan, same as that witness. Serena whispered, "Grayfield doesn't just hire killers." She heard a new sound outside. Not boots, a stretcher rolling, slow, deliberate. Then a voice, low, calm, familiar. "I told you she'd fight." Serena's breath caught. She stepped to the doorway and saw a man in a hospital admin suit with military posture, a scar on his temple, eyes like steel. He looked directly at Serena and smiled slightly. "Hello, Blake. It's been a long time." Serena's voice came out like broken ice. "Commander Rourke." Commander Rourke walked into the morgue like he owned the dead. He didn't raise a weapon. He didn't need one. His contractors flanked him like shadows. Behind him, Dr. Kessler appeared, breathing hard, looking proud, like this was his win. Rourke's gaze moved across Serena's face. He's studying her the way someone studies a tool they once used. "I heard you became a nurse," Rourke said softly. "A quiet one. How poetic." Serena's fists tightened. "You're supposed to be dead." Rourke smiled. "I was, officially." Hank Morales stepped forward, voice shaking. "Sir, this is restricted." A contractor punched Hank in the stomach, dropping him. Serena's eyes went dark. Rourke held up a hand like a teacher. "Easy. We're not here for blood." Then he looked toward the morgue drawers. "We're here for Nolan," he said. Kessler added quickly, "He's a liability, a witness. He can't leave this hospital alive." Serena stared at Kessler with disgust. "You let them slaughter your own patients." Kessler's face hardened. "You don't understand. This hospital survives because of funding, because of partnerships." "Grayfield," Serena said. Rourke clapped slowly. "Still sharp." Rourke stepped closer. "Come back with me, Serena. You don't belong here." Serena whispered, "I belong where people need help." Rourke's smile faded. "Then you'll die with them." He nodded. One contractor raised a rifle. Serena moved before the trigger pulled. She grabbed the defibrillator pads off the emergency cart and slapped them onto the contractor's chest. "Clear." She shocked him. He convulsed and collapsed. Chaos exploded. Gunfire erupted, bullets sparking off steel drawers. Serena grabbed Hank's arm and yanked him behind the body freezer. "Stay down," she snapped. She sprinted to the crash cart and ripped open the anesthesia drawer. She grabbed an endotracheal tube, an oxygen line, a laryngoscope, not to intubate, to fight. A contractor rushed her. Serena slammed the laryngoscope handle into his wrist. Crack! He dropped his weapon. She looped the oxygen line around his neck and yanked him backward into a metal rack. He hit hard and went still. Kessler shouted, furious, "She's killing them!" Serena barked back, "They're trying to execute staff." Rourke watched her like a scientist watching a specimen, admiring. Then he pulled out a small remote device, a detonator. "My men can die. This hospital can die too." Serena's fists froze. Rourke tilted his head. "You didn't notice the bomb. That's disappointing." Serena's stomach dropped. Rourke raised the detonator. "One tress," he whispered. "Whole oxygen line goes up." Serena's mind raced. Oxygen, fire, patients, babies, ventilators. Rourke smiled. "Choose," he said. "Me or them?" Serena's eyes flicked to the ceiling sprinkler pipe, then to the crash cart, then to the anesthesia canister. She whispered, "Wrong question," and she hurled the defibrillator pads straight at Rourke's hand. The paddle smashed into Rourke's hand. The detonator flew. Time slowed. Serena dove, not toward safety, toward the detonator. A contractor lunged too. Serena slammed her knee into his jaw, snatched the device, and rolled behind the morgue table. Her heart pounded, just once, then steadied again. Rourke's smile disappeared. For the first time, he looked angry. Kessler screamed, "Kill her, now!" Gunfire cracked. Serena crawled low, clutching the detonator. Then a voice boomed through the hospital intercom. Not Mercy General's voice. Federal. "This is the FBI. Drop your weapons." Every person in the hallway froze. Serena's eyes widened because she didn't call them. Rourke's eyes narrowed. He whispered, "So he did show up." Footsteps thundered. Real SWAT, not fake. They flooded the corridor outside the morgue. Flashbang. Light and sound ripped through the air. Contractors screamed. Shots. Orders. In the chaos, Serena dragged Hank out of the line of fire. "Stay with me," she snapped. Hank gasped. "Who called the FBI?" Serena stared toward the ICU wing. Nolan. Nolan must have triggered something. A hidden beacon? A distress code? Rourke backed toward the service elevator, calm again. He wasn't panicking. He was calculating. Before he left, he nodded at Kessler. Kessler's eyes widened, suddenly fearful. "Wait, Commander!" Rourke didn't look back. He abandoned him. Kessler realized it too late. He turned, trying to run, right as FBI agents stormed in. They tackled him hard. Kessler screamed, "I'm a doctor! You can't!" An agent shoved him to the floor. "You're under arrest for conspiracy and domestic terrorism." Serena stood shaking, but not from fear, from what she'd almost lost. An FBI woman stepped into the morgue, scanning. Her badge read, S.A. Kate Mendoza. She looked at Serena like she already knew her. Then came the silent reveal moment. Mendoza's eyes dropped to Serena's hands, to the scar across her knuckles. Her expression shifted. Recognition. Respect. She spoke quietly. "That's a Raven Line scar." Serena's breath caught. Only military knew that term. Mendoza leaned closer. "Serena Blake, or should I say, Sergeant Blake." Hank stared at Serena, shocked. "Sergeant?" Serena didn't answer. Nolan was being wheeled in by medics, pale but alive. He locked eyes with Serena, and for the first time he smiled. Barely. Then he whispered loud enough for agents to hear. "She saved the hospital. She saved me." Mendoza turned, raising her voice. "Get her protected. She's a federal asset now." Serena flinched at that word. Asset. Rourke used that word too. Then a hospital tech ran in with a laptop, panting. "Agent, we pulled the hidden camera footage." Mendoza snapped. "Play it." The screen lit up. Footage showed Serena in the hallway, fighting, saving people, but then edited footage cut in, a fake clip of Serena holding a gun over a doctor's body. Serena's chest tightened. Mendoza stared at the screen. "Someone fabricated this," Mendoza whispered. Serena's looked at the corner timestamp, and her blood turned to ice, because the editor tag read, "Grayfield Internal Rook System." Rourke had planned the frame from the beginning, and now the world would think Serena was the killer. Morning light hit Mercy General like nothing happened, but inside, the hospital looked like war. Shattered glass, bloodstains, burn marks near the oxygen room door, patients crying in hallways, doctors silent. Kessler sat in cuffs, face bruised, eyes dead. Head nurse Marla Denton sat wrapped in a blanket, sobbing as an ethics board investigator questioned her. She looked up at Serena once, guilt crushing her. Serena didn't hate her. She hated the system that used mothers as leverage. Agent Mendoza stood in the admin office, watching footage frame by frame. The real footage, the fake footage, the edits. She slammed the desk. "We have proof this is manipulation." Serena leaned against the wall, arms crossed. She looked exhausted. Not physically, emotionally, like the last thread of her quiet life had been cut. Mendoza approached her. "You did incredible tonight." Serena's voice was soft. "People died anyway." Mendoza's eyes hardened. "More would have died without you." Nolan sat on a hospital bed nearby, guarded by 2 agents. He looked at Serena. "Rourke isn't done. He'll come back." Serena nodded. "I know." Mendoza hesitated. "We can protect you. Witness protection, new identity, new hospital?" Serena gave a faint, bitter smile. "I already did that," she whispered. Mendoza stepped closer. "Then tell me the truth. Who are you really?" Serena looked down at her hands, the scars, the proof of what she survived. Then she reached into her scrub pocket and pulled out a small, worn dog tag. She placed it on the table. It read, "Serena Blake -68W Combat Medic." Everyone in the room went silent, even Nolan. Serena's voice trembled only once. "I patched men together while bullets hit the walls. I watched friends bleed out because someone higher up wanted a clean story." Mendoza swallowed. "Grayfield contractors, corrupt hospitals, dirty funding." Serena's eyes sharpened. This hospital was just tonight's battlefield. Mendoza pointed at the footage edits. "We'll clear your name." Serena shook her head. "It won't matter." Mendoza frowned. "What do you mean?" Serena stepped toward the window. Outside, reporters gathered. Sirens still echoed. She whispered, "Rourke doesn't need courts. He needs fear." Then she turned back. Her eyes met Mendoza's. "I'm not letting him pick the next hospital," Serena said. Mendoza's voice softened. "You're going after him." Serena didn't answer. She just took the detonator device from her pocket, now disabled, and placed it beside the dog tag like evidence. Then she walked toward the door. Nolan called after her, voice urgent. "Serena!" She paused. Nolan said, "Why do you stay quiet when they humiliate you?" Serena looked back, expression calm. "Because quiet people hear everything," she said. She opened the door. Before she left, she delivered the final line like a moral carved in steel. "Never underestimate the quiet nurse."